This thief had been locked in the car for 3 days and nights. He had tried everything but couldn't get out. He was about to die from the heat. In his desperation, the car owner called. It turned out that this car had been stolen 28 times already. With this theft, it was the 29th time. So the owner deliberately upgraded the entire car. Bulletproof, top-tier soundproofing, and you couldn't even see inside from the outside. When the man heard this, he went into a rage. The owner couldn't be bothered to argue with him, so he hung up the phone. Then cool air started blowing from the vents. The man thought the owner was scared and was trying to please him. He sat in the passenger seat enjoying it, but soon something felt wrong. The wind speed suddenly increased and the temperature kept dropping. He quickly put on some clothes, ripped half of his left pant leg off, and wrapped it around his right leg's wound. Then he shredded some newspapers and stuffed them into the vents one by one. Finally, he covered himself with the footrest mat. Just as the man was about to freeze to death, the air conditioning suddenly turned off. It was clear that the owner was remotely controlling it. The owner called again. The man said he was dying of thirst and begged for some water, but his tone annoyed the owner, who hung up the phone again. The man fell into despair once more. If he couldn't get out, he would die of thirst in there. Just then, a police car suddenly pulled up. A traffic officer got out and looked around the car. The man was desperately trying to move inside, but the car didn't budge, like a tank. The officer finally slapped a parking ticket on the windshield and left. On the third day, rain began to fall outside. The man imagined the raindrops falling into his mouth. The owner called again, saying there was a straw in the trunk with some water inside. The man hurriedly pried open the trunk cover, grabbed the straw, and used a Coke bottle to collect the liquid. But there was only about half a bottle of water, and it was blue. At this point, the man didn't care. He drank it all in one go. But water couldn't satisfy his hunger, so he tore a page from the car's manual, crumpled it up, and put it in his mouth, chewing it slowly. It still got stuck in his throat, so he had some homemade alcohol to wash it down. Just after drinking it, someone else came to try to break into the car. The man could tell from his skills that he was a beginner, and he felt anxious for him. But the neighbors saw him, and he was quickly pinned to the ground. In the dead of night, the man couldn't bear the hunger anymore, and finally he reached for the ants. He slowly brought them to his mouth. After eating, he was bored and began pressing the start button repeatedly. To his surprise, the car actually started, but the door still wouldn't open. So he buckled up, accelerated, and backed the car into a power pole. He crawled out the window only to find the owner standing outside.